They can hear us. Until now.
Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We're about to get started in just a second or so. If you wouldn't mind in the chat, just putting in who you are, which league you're from, and maybe the role that you hold as well. Before we get started, it's always more helpful when we know who we're talking to. So please do use the chat or the Q&A, whichever was easiest for you. We're in both at the moment. And we are going to get started in just a second's time. I'm just going to make sure that my technology is fully working before I even commit to starting this. So if you don't mind, chuck who you are, your role, and the league you're with in the chat, and we'll get started in just a second's time.
Lots of familiar names on here.
Yes, there is. Lovely stuff. Right, let's get this show on the road. All right, so Claire, if this falls apart any time, just jump in and I'll switch devices. But let's see how this goes. So, welcome everybody. This is the competition portal and setting up for the season session. So hopefully you're all from a league and have access to competition portal already. If you don't, chuck it in the chat and we can help you get access if you don't have it already. In terms of tonight, we'll be done by 7:30 at the very latest. We don't expect it to last this long, but it will depend on the questions, etc. you ask. And coming on to the questions, please do use the chat if you can, or the Q&A. We will be in there to answer any questions that you have. Anything we can't cover tonight, we will cover on our knowledge base, which I will cover on how to find that towards the back end of this session. And finally, this session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So again, if you don't know how to access that, just wait towards the back end of the session and we'll signpost you of how to follow us on YouTube and access this recording so you can share it with your colleagues across your league. So that's how tonight will work. In terms of who's presenting tonight, I've got a really minor role. I'm just basically introducing and asking questions, and I'll maybe answer the odd one or two. But the main person tonight that you need to know about is Claire Davidson. Claire's our Digital Customer Services Manager in Grassroots at the FA, and she's going to take you through a demonstration of everything we're going to go through tonight. So if you have any questions, please do ask. We will cover everything that you need to cover. So no question's a stupid question, as always, and we've been more than happy to show you anything you need to see. So if you're a seasoned veteran just wanting a refresher, or you're brand new to this role, please do ask and we will show you what we think you need to cover. But if we miss anything, let us know and we'll cover that as well. Also in the chat, we do have Jatin from our customer services team. So again, if you see someone called Jatin reply to you, answering questions, he's not rogue. He's not, well, he might be rogue in normal life, but he does work for us and he will be helping out answering questions in the chat as well. So if you get a like on your message, that normally means that one of us is going to respond. So don't think that we're trying to, like, I don't know, agree with you or disagree with you. It's just a case of us trying to see who is answering your question. It's nothing more than that. But my name is Sam Yates. I'm the digital engagement lead in Grassroots as well. And I'm having significant technology problems this evening. So let's see how this works out for me. If I drop off at any points, blame my laptop and the heat. We're both, me and Claire, both northern based. We are not used to any form of sunshine or heat, and we have both at the moment, and neither is our technology. So let's move on quickly. So in terms of tonight, we'll look through the setup of the season for pretty much everything you need to know to get yourselves perfectly set up, ready to go. And then if you're starting next week or in September, it can be hopefully as simple and as easy as possible. We know it's not a straightforward job, especially you as leagues having to generate your divisions, cups, and then also fixtures, referee appointments, etc., etc. So we know how difficult it is. Hopefully tonight will give you some pointers to make it as easy as possible to complete these tasks. But in terms of demo, we'll go through managing officials, setting up and creating and removing divisions and cups, completing league sanction, The registration process, so things like creating your registration requirements and then approving and or rejecting as they come through, the applications that come through. We'll then take a pause for questions. So this session, as we said before, is being recorded. And for the purpose of the recording, we'll probably read out most of the questions that come through the chat. Obviously, the recording can't see the chat, so it's important that anyone watching retrospectively can hear the answers to your questions. Then we'll go through where you can find further support, and then that will be us done by 7:30 at the very, very, very latest. So hopefully that's what you're here for. And it's good to see so many of you in the chat that we've come across before, and also nice to see some new people as well, which I've not come across some new names. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the main section of tonight, which is Claire's demo, and Claire's going to take you through everything I've just read out on the agenda up to questions. So Claire, over to you.
Thank you, Sam. I'm just going to share my screen. Oh, no, you don't want the Avengers. Okay, so we're looking at competition portal tonight. So we're going to be using our test league, the WGSO Northern League, not to be mistaken with Dave Robinson's actual Northern League, no relation. It just happens to be the name of our test league. So the first thing I'm going to take you through is officials. So I'm assuming everyone's got the correct roles within the competitions portal already. So competitions.efa.com, log in using your email address and your password as normal. So once you're in, you've got any leagues that you've got access to. If you've got a drop down, if you've got access to more than one league, you can change your league here. The first tab that we're going to be looking at is the officials tab. And within here, you can see all of the team officials. So if there is a team named within your league, you can see the team officials. So any team managers, team coaches, team secretaries. You can see club officials in here. So chair, treasurer, all of your key officials for a club. But most importantly, what you're looking at today in one of your first jobs is league officials. So you've got all of your key officials in here. So that whether that be your chair, your secretary, your treasurer, or your welfare officer. So if you've got youth, you will have a youth welfare officer. Adult, you'll have an adult welfare officer, or both. Now, if we've got step 5 leagues on, which I know we have, it is slightly different. But you will see all of your roles within there. You've also got listed under here other officials. So you might have a discipline officer, registration officer, etc. So all of their roles are shown in here. You can delete anybody from a role. It's just a case of there's James 80 Le Golf. If he is no longer with my league, I have the option here to remove him from the records. Simply click the bin on the end, click confirm, and James is gone. The only roles that you don't have the option of removing are the key officials. You can only swap them around, and you can see here that you've got 2 arrows, switching arrows. If I want to change the name of my key official, I can simply click that and select the name of the person that I want to put in that role. I'm going to keep that for now because I want to show you when I sanction the league. If I want to add an official, I have an option here to add an official. And stupidly, let me just remove Jatin so I can add him back on again. So I've removed Jatin. It gives us a message here. So if I want to add an official to the records, I can either search by name or search by fan. Now it's going to test me here, Jatin. Jatin, come to Parley, 13th. of January 2000, just a child, and I click search. So it's shown me here that I have one official found and I can add Jattin to the league. Now it gives me a list of options. What league role would I like to give him? We'll just add him as a registration officer for now. Click confirm. And if I go to my listings, I can now see Jattin has been added as a registrations officer. You might see on here that some of them have got an alarm bell. This means that the qualification is either expiring or has expired. So as a league official, you have only got this one here, the option to click this. I've already sent it today. So what this will do, and I'll just drag this across, it sends an email to me to say it's been sent on behalf of the Northern League. It's telling me my safeguarding for all qualifications expired, and I also don't hold the welfare officer training. So it's nice, tells me log into England Football Learning if I want to do that. So a nice little, nice to have there. So any league officials that you wish to send a reminder, you absolutely can. It does tell you on your team officials where qualifications are expiring. You do not, as a league, have the option to go and send them a reminder out. It is up to the club or to the teams themselves or the individuals to make sure that their qualifications are up to date. However, you just look at your league officials. I'm just going to jump to another league now. So another WGSO Test Super League, and we're going to have a look at the competition side of things. So in order to do your sanction, you need to have your structure set up in place, in a good place. So you need your division set up, all of your teams in there, your cups done. You can add any external teams to your cups. So player registration requirements as well. So within your competitions tab, you've got an option here. So you've got divisions, cups, registration requirements, and sanctioning. So I'm just going to go through them in order. One thing I will say is that with the filters, you will have on every single page an option to show filters. Have a look at them. Some really useful stuff in here. You can filter by gender and by format, the same as you can with any other tab on here. So have a look through the filters, but in this case, I want to create a brand new division. Go to add a division, and I can see I've only got down to my under 12, so let's go and add the under 13s fish. Under 13, select my format. Oh, I should know this. I think it is now 9-9. We'll have it mixed, playing the Sunday, make it a non-disability league. What type? It's football. So, and it is the football level. In this case, is non-MLS. But obviously, you do have options on here for step 5, step 6. You can put them in there. Click save, and you can see my starfish are now listed within my divisions. I can delete a division if I don't need it. If I've got one from last season that I don't require, then I can go and delete it. You can see this one's the only one that has a little bin next to it, a trash can, because it's the only one that doesn't have teams in. As soon as you have a team in a division, it doesn't let you remove it. You can go into the division, remove all of the teams, and then go back and delete the division if you don't need it. So I've created my division and now want to go and add my teams to it. So if I've made a mistake, I can at any time change this. I might change my date of play to a Saturday. That's okay. So I can change it at any point. But if I want to add teams, I'll simply click on the division and I have an option here in the top right corner to add teams. Click add a team. And what it'll do, it'll filter to all of the under 13 teams that are currently linked to my my league. I can also filter on those that haven't been added into a division. So again, some useful filters. So I can say, yeah, they're no longer with my league. I can go and get them removed. So click. I had to pick a division that's got loads and loads of teams in, didn't I? But yeah. So if I click on this, it's telling them I've got 12 teams and they're being added to the under 13 starfish division. It does tell you if any of the details don't match. So like this is a mixed, I've added it as a mixed division, and some of these are male and female. These are just test teams. You can go back to your clubs, tell them to correct the name of your, correct the team, etc. if anything is wrong. But if I click confirm, it's now added those teams to the division. Again, made a mistake, click on that, it gets rid of them. So that is how you add a division into there. So very, very similar with the cups. I've got a list of cups here. Again, at this point, not many of them have been added into a cup. So I've got the option to remove a cup if it's an old one. I'm not running it this year or whatever. But in this case, let's go and add somebody to my under 9 cup. Again, I've got the option to add a team. You would do it in exactly the same way. It's filtered on that under 9s already. I could go and select them. So let's stick those 3 in the cup. I've also got the option to add an external team. So it might be that you allow other people, other counties into it. Let's just go for beds. I'll look for something with under 9. And it gives me the options in here. So I'm not going to put anybody in because, you know, I picked an external team and these are live teams, so I won't put them in, but you get the gist. If you know the name of the team that you want to put in there, you have the option to do that. So I'm going to go back. But nice and easy to add a cup, 1 add a cup, league cup, and 2 to add teams into it, even if it is an external team. Registration requirements. So this is up to you as a league, what you run as your league requirements. It might be that you want a photo, it might be that you insist on having online consent. You've got the option within here. Any requirements that you've set up in the past will show on here. So you can see I've created one today called Youth Divisions. If I just edit this, so I selected, I'll always allow registrations. So some leagues say, okay, I'm not going to start my registrations until the 1st of August. So, you know, you can put a start date and an end date. You know, some people have a cut-off date for registration, so you would put in there if you don't always want to allow registrations. You can select whether you want to photograph or not. Mainly for youth leagues, I would say, the photo date on or after. Obviously, you don't look the same at 7 as you look at 10, so you might want to update your photo every couple of years. Entirely up to you as a league where you have no absolute, it's not an FA requirement. Maximum number of players per team, again, probably more for youth. So yes, you can say there's only 20 per team. I'm saying I don't want online consent, no telephone numbers, no ID check. So I can click confirm with that. If I want to add some teams to that requirement, let me just, or some division, I created that starfish division. It automatically put it in the default requirement, but it might be that I want to change it. I want to add it to the youth division requirement because it's an under 13 team. So I can select that under 13 starfish, apply the requirements and put the youth division. Just click confirm. And then that moves the under 13 starfish into the youth divisions. And I can see I've now got 7 teams in there. You can create a brand new requirement. I don't know. I'm not very ambitious. So I'll start registrations today. I want to finish my registrations on the 1st of March, not allow any after that. Make sure I want the photograph uploaded on or after today. No maximum online consent. Don't want a telephone number. Not bothered about an ID check. So click confirm, and that sets up a brand new requirement. So you might have something for your mini soccer, something for your youth, something for your adults, something for your veterans, entirely up to you. Now, the final thing I want to show you, there's a couple of things actually. Before I go on to sanction, what I'm going to show you is if you are a league and you use full time within the competitions, you can see here, it'll tell you straight away if you are linked to full time. If you have a hover over this little eye, you can see this competition is already synced with full time. It means that anything you have set up on here, so your divisions and your teams in the divisions, they will all push across to full time. So anything you change in here, so I've just added that under 13 starfish for 18 teams in there. Because I'm linked, if I go into full time now, look at the current season, 26-27, I will see those teams appearing in there. So this is where you go, and we have linked every single one of our full-time, leagues that used full-time last season. They've already been linked. So if you're a full-time league, you go into full-time, have a look at your seasons, and you will see a 26-27 season in there already set up. Sam or Jack, I can't remember who, is going to direct you to the portal if you're having any problems with that. But that's integration. The other thing I was just going to quickly touch on was discipline. I know you had it last season, but it was pretty new last season. I just want to show you as a league. Obviously, you have all of your divisions set up in here. These are the ones. It will only show you a division if it has discipline on there. So I don't know. Let's look at the squibs. This is discipline. As far as I know, they haven't reset the fair play tables yet, but I'm sure we can confirm that. And we'll probably drop some comms into the knowledge base when we do. You can see any suspensions relating to your league. And again, probably a good one here for a filter. So the only thing that you'll be interested in for the moment is any acting, serving or pending suspensions that you've got. You can sort by the start date of the suspension. So, I mean, looking at a few of these, this is test data. So God forbid that yours be as bad as this, but you can see the All Moon New Club haven't put any suspension matches in for this player since June 2025. You might want to give them a kick and say, come on, get your suspension matches in. It shows you what the suspension's for, gives you a little bit more information. You can see your misconducts in here. Again, have a little mess around, have a play with the filters, and exactly the same for your red and yellow cards. So just wanted to touch a tiny little bit on suspension. Now, the final thing I'm going to show you is the league sanction. I'm going to jump back into the Northern League because for some reason we've set up the Test Super League as a professional league, but there you go. So within the competition portal, again under competitions, it was that final tab. You've got sanctioning. So we've got the Northern League. I simply select the league. I've got 20 divisions, 10 cups. I want to sanction everything. 36 teams currently in. So we'll go sanction competition, and it takes me to a summary page straight away. It tells me who the main contact is for the league. Happens to be me in this case. I'm the secretary, the chair. Sam's the treasurer. Would never allow that. But it's got a warning here. The welfare officer doesn't have a welfare officer workshop. We looked at that before. However, you can still submit your application, but I don't happen to be the welfare officer any longer. So I can go and review the application. You can see there, it's got this expired qualification. So I'm just going to swap me out. I know Jatton's got all the right qualifications. So I'm going to put Jatton in the role. He's there now, Welfare Officer Youth. And I've got this handy little button that will just take us back to my sanction. And it's got rid of that warning. It tells us all my divisions that I've got, all my cups that I've got, how many teams are in them, etc. If I want to look at them, I can go back into the portal itself and go and view them. I must review and accept or adopt the safeguarding declaration. Again, I've got that handy review button. I'll go and adopt it. It forces you to view it because obviously you need to have read it if you're adopting this safeguarding declaration. So it opens the document. I read through that. I'm more than happy with this. Click close, and I've now got the option to accept it. It does tell you exactly who's accepted it and when that has been done. So a little bit of an audit trail. We're going to look at audits in a lot more detail this season, so you'll be able to tell a bit more who's accepted stuff and who hasn't. So you've got the safeguarding declaration now adopted. I can go back to the sanction. I've got to add the first fixture date. Again, it's simple date selector as you would see anywhere else. I have the option to upload accounts or AGM minutes. This depends on your county FA. If they insist that you upload accounts, AGM minutes, then you can do so there. Click review, it takes you to the place where you'd upload them, upload the file, and you can go back to your sanction. Exactly the same with competition rules. It gives you the ability, you have to upload competition rules. That is not it's a mandatory requirement. And you have insurance. In this case, it is optional whether I want to purchase insurance through the county FA. In this case, I've picked a £15 insurance. I can change that. Or if I bought my own insurance as a league, I can upload the document. Click confirm, and it's as simple as that. Now, I'm just going on to confirm that the application is complete and accurate, etc. Proceed to my summary. Tells me exactly how much I have to pay. Nice and cheap with IT Test FA. They don't do a lot for you, but submit the application. Confirm. So I can see it is now pending review with the county FA. And if you bear with me one second. I'm just going to jump in here. Function. There's my Northern League. I'm just going to me, I'm getting boiling. So I'm going to mark it as complete. Just pretend I've paid by cash in the county. Confirm that. So paid. I've been at my county. I've paid cash. If I just refresh this now. It's now shown me as sanctioned. So that's sanctioning. I can show player registrations if you want. So I can see here any pending actions that have been sent across. So if any of my teams have registered, started to register players, they will appear in my pending actions. So I can select one player. I can select them all by ticking this at the top. Let's just do, oops. I can see here, I gave consent back in February 2023. It lasts 5 years, online consent. It's showed me as assigned to the team. It tells us exactly who submitted it. So if I've got any queries, I can see ID was verified by Sam, and it gives me any player details that I want to look at. So I'm just going to go back. So I'm going to approve me and Edwin. I've got the option here to approve them. When do I want registration to start? Season hasn't started, so most you'll just be approving them as normal. But if you allow on the day sign-ins, you can backdate your registration if you need to. That's fine. So I can approve that. They've disappeared from there, and where they're gone, I'm now shown as registered, as is Edwin. If I choose to reject the player registration, sorry, I can only reject one at a time. So I'm rejecting this gentleman here. So reject them. I must give a reason. It's an invalid photograph. I know that's not what he looks like. Doesn't meet the requirements. You know, I can add wrong person, don't know, anything. You can add your own free format wording and I can reject them. Again, that has disappeared from there. So, and it's shown this gentleman has been unregistered. Now, I think, Sam, that I have covered most things. You can export your player information when you've got more players in there. If you've decided you want photographs, you have the ability to download headshots on there. I think I've covered most things, but I'm sure if there's anything in the chat or anything that you want us to go over, more than happy to do so. I'll stay here for a minute.
Yeah, so far you've missed nothing in terms of what we intended to cover. We've also had no questions so far. So I take that as we've covered everything that people need to know about, but we'll just give it a couple of seconds for people to be able to either put in the chat or the Q&A. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
I was just, when I think about it, as a league registration officer, do you get notifications these days when players are registered, or do we turn that off?
We turn it off in peak season because you have
in peak
hundreds
season.
otherwise.
Yeah, otherwise, you know, if you're a big league where you've got 10,000 plus players, you don't want to be receiving notifications every 5 minutes. So yeah, we've turned that off when the season's slow. At this point, we probably expect you, before we kick off, to be looking at your registrations on a regular basis. But later on down the line, we will send out a notification to tell you that somebody's been submitted to your league for registration. That's just that's a freebie.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We had, I think it was JPL last year, had like 46,000 players. Imagine getting 46,000 emails for each one, hence why we turn it off. And we have got the TGFA and the Northumberland Football Leagues and a few others, which are significantly higher than 10,000. So we have to turn it off at this time of year. We should be inundated on the daily. So we do turn it off. We still have no questions, Claire. So I'm going to steal the screen back off here for now.
Okay. I don't know whether you're touching on notifications, Sam, because we're changing some notifications for leagues as well, but might be worth a mention at the end.
Yes, it will. Whilst this is waiting to load, we may as well talk about it now. So, yes, we are moving across from what was our old provider in terms of notifications to a new one, and that has opened the door for a few new extra ones. Now, at the moment, we've been testing it across the summer months, or across the last 2 months, really. And within that, we have found a couple of niggling issues where some notifications aren't being sent, and it mainly affects Hotmail or Microsoft accounts. Now, the system notifications that we are currently sending out, they do not go through our new platform yet. So anyone who's got them in the past will get them. And Claire, my screen is not sharing. I'm trying like for days. It's just not loading. So don't, if you mind, if you can get to the question slide, that'd be fabulous. Thank you. But yes, we are moving platforms. I mean, it gives us more flexibility. Now, initially, you won't see too much of a difference. It'll just be the fact that you get nicer looking notifications coming through via email. But going forwards, we're trying to build out a place where you can define like the number of emails you get, so the frequency and the time and day that you get them. So one works for you. If you know that you're going to do most of your league admin on Tuesday, you can define that. It's not in the shortest term that will happen, but that is what we're working towards at the moment. So initially, the notifications switching to our new platform. They should be more reliant going forwards, more factual and better looking, which doesn't mean much to many people, but especially to me it does. But yeah, we are switching our notification providers. So hopefully you'll find out that they are more frequent and they are much better looking and far more reliable going forwards. So it's one just to thank you, Claire, for calling it out. That is one to remember. But as we say, going forwards, we've got a point where we think we'll have a point where you'll have you can define when you receive your notifications. If you haven't already realised, if you go to myaccount.thefa.com, you can in there define what you receive. So it could be just England teams, it can be just grassroots, it can just be as specific as open age adult male football, open or youth female football, or just disability football. You can define it in your preference centre within my account. And speaking of my account, in my account, you can sign up to the England football family. We encourage anyone who is a volunteer to sign up to my England football, my England football family. What does that get for you? So it's free to join, and basically it's a reward scheme. So we give you the opportunity to get experiences like an England legend coming down to coach sessions for your club or your league. We have things like sessions at SGP or St George's Park, Wembley pitch days. There's loads of stuff. We have night kit, loads of stuff we have going on, and it's all purely for members of the England football family. So if you haven't joined up already or signed up already, we highly recommend you do. It's about time you are rewarded for what you do. Like, this is voluntary stuff that you do to make football happen. We should be able to reward you for what you do. So if you haven't already, go to englandfootball.com and look for the England Football Family and sign up now. If you haven't, sorry, Claire. Also with England Football Family, it does give you tickets to games as well, to matches. So England first teams, men's and women's, and also for the youth setups as well. It will give you a nominal amount of tickets. I think coming up for the next season, we've got a bumper number of, like, especially youth fixtures, youth being 23s, 21s, 19s, 17s. So if they're in your locality and you want to claim up to 15 tickets, the England Football Family is the place to be able to access those tickets. So don't avoid being in that. And finally, really, unless we get any more questions in, because we have none so far, is to be in contact with us going forward. So we are on pretty much every social platform at the moment. So we are on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter as FAGR Tech, so FA Grassroots Tech, basically. If you're not followed us already, please do. We do post like shorter versions of our guidance. We also post reminders of things that you need to complete as we're going through the season. So right now it's quite heavily on affiliation, competition sanction, and referee registration. As we move into October, it'll switch to accreditation, and then obviously we'll go through the season with what is most relevant to leagues, clubs, and referees as we go through. So if you don't follow us already, please do. Also, we are on YouTube as Grassroots Tech, and all of our stuff goes on there, regardless of who you are. Everything goes on there. So if you want to be in the place to have all the content, follow us on YouTube or subscribe to us on YouTube. We are there. And please do share that. So the recording of tonight's session will be on Grassroots Tech tomorrow on the YouTube channel. And it'll also be chapterized, and it will be shareable. So if you want to share it to people within your committees or within your working groups of your league, please feel free to share that. Also with your clubs as well. Probably this session is less relevant, but the club session we did run a couple of weeks ago is on there as well. So you want to share that with your clubs and say, please look at this. It covers affiliation, player registration, and anything else a club needs to do to be ready for the new season. Please feel free to share that. We are Grassroots Tech on YouTube. So it will also feed my ego massively if you do go and follow those accounts. So please do if you can. But Claire, if you can take me to the final slide, I think, please. We still have no questions in, so I'm going to assume. Hang on, have we got one in the Q&A? I've got a red dot, so we don't. Lovely stuff. So we're going to finish early, really early, like 15 minutes early, pretty much. Thank you so much for everyone joining us tonight. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out. You can reach us on grassrootstechnology.thefa.com. You can raise a ticket with us. Also, if you have any suggestions of enhancements to our systems, whether that's what's Claire showed you tonight within the competition portal, or if it's in like full time, because obviously they are very much interlinked now, please do submit your suggestions in there. Things like suspensions flowing back into full time. So if you weren't aware, when a person's now got a suspension, the suspension matches pull from full time. What we're working towards this season is then once a club has selected the fixtures that the player will be suspended for, or the participant will be suspended for, they will then flow back into full time. So they're showing your full time site as suspended, so less likely to play an ineligible player, etc. So things like that we are going to cover, and I love the fact that Thor just appeared on my closing of the session. I'm all for it. I had a Thor's hammer necklace which broke yesterday, so I'm fuming about that. But anyway, moving swiftly on. But yes, please do look at our channels, look at our grassrootstechnology.thefa.com. All of our support guidance is on there. As I say, we can raise tickets, and you can go to our forum to suggest enhancements as well. But otherwise, all that's left for me to say is thank you so much to Claire. Thank you so much to Jatin for joining us as well in the chat, even though you weren't actually needed. But thank you anyway. Thank you all for joining, because it's another hour pretty much out of your volunteer time. We do appreciate it. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. The address was grassrootstechnology.thefa.com. To reach the support team. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we will meet you again, hopefully at some point across the season, and we wish you all the best for the coming season. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam.